Okay, I have a hot bowl of soup question. So I'm going to base everything around this formula. At t equals 0, we have a certain temperature later, room temperature. So we have all this information. What is the value of a plus b? Well, that's a little harder, but let's just look at what it's asking. What it's really asking is, did you notice that f of 0 is a plus b, because e to the 0 is 1. See, e to the 0 is 1 right over there. So if you notice that f of 0 is a plus b, what is the initial temperature? It's 190. So we're just sort of setting the stage. What is f of t as t grows to be quite large? Well, it's going to be room temperature. Well, that's also a. A is going to be, so if you said f of t is a, or if you said f of t is 70, to answer this question, either of those would have been correct. Sometimes I don't care exactly what you say, as long as it's intelligent and it builds on itself. So all these questions in the beginning are just lead-ups, and at the end, if you can get all, like the last couple questions, I don't really care what the format is of your early answers, because they are lead-up. So if I see that you got the whole model, then I'm happy. So let's see, if you had said this is A, then you'd say 70 here, and if you said 70 here, you might say 70 there. It would still be okay. What is the value of B? Well, B must be 120, because A and B together add up to 190. Now, what is the value of K? Well, this was all lead up, right? This was just saying f of t is equal to A, which is 70, plus b, which is 120, e to the minus kt. So this whole thing was meant to help us get here, right? And we're going to use this piece of information that we have not used yet, this bit right here. T is equal to 1, you get 180, and that's what we're going to have to use to extract out this last bit of information. Okay, so we have 70 plus 120 e to the minus k is equal to 180. And that's enough information to figure out what the k is. You're going to get 110 equals 120 e to the minus k, because I subtract 70 from both sides, then I divide by 120. And then what do I do? Well, something like that. Alright, now I'm going to take the natural log of both sides, and I'm going to get minus k on one side and natural log of that quantity on the other side. Then I'm going to drop the negative sign on both sides. Something like that. Alright, so I found out what k was, and I showed all the work. So I actually have the whole model. I never explicitly ask you to do this, but I'm going to just write this. And at this point, a lot of students will be confused. They'll say, hold on a second, I thought k was positive. That's true, but the original model put a negative up here. If our original model had a k and did not have a negative, our k would have been negative. The point is, this exponent has to be negative in the final expression, or you're not going to have a decreasing temperature. This is opposite of, say, if I had a problem where I brought ice cream out of the freezer, then it would be getting warmer and warmer and warmer, and, well, actually, I'm lying to you, so that's completely wrong, because that would still be negative, but then this would be negative also, something like that. But you've got to pay attention to what things are doing long term, so that they can be physically consistent. All right. So when will the soup be 145 degrees? So we just solved this for t, we've done this before, find t, so we're going to subtract from both sides, da 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 da, right? So we're going to do something like this, divide by 120, and then we're going to take the natural log of both sides, and then we divide out to find t, and we get t is 5.402 minutes. Something to keep track of, when you have e to anything, let's say e to the 7t, and I say let's take the natural log of both sides, I'm going to get natural log of y on one side, and I'm just going to get 7t on the other side. And you may say, well, where did the natural log go? Well, the natural log didn't go anywhere, it just, if you prefer, you can do it this way. 7t times natural log of e, but natural log of e is 1. So that's what happens. This 7t hops out front. Or you could use the formula. That formula I keep showing you. Let me just write it down again. Okay, if you have log base b of p equals q. I keep using different letters because I forgot what I used the last time. If and only if, so these are both true together, base to the q equals p. So you can either manipulate the formula directly, or you can think of it in terms of a rule, whichever is easier for you. You can think of this in terms of it's hopping, the 7t is hopping out front, if that helps you, or if you think about this as being the underlying rule, then that helps you, that's fine too. Whatever works for you. That's it.